The selfie stick is not as new as you think. Its history stretches back much further than Instagram, TikTok, or even the invention of the smartphone. The story of the selfie stick is a strange mix of innovation, ridicule, rejection, and ultimate global acceptance. But behind this little invention lies a story few people know. Today, we're diving into the full history of the selfie stick, where it came from, who invented it, how it spread across the world, and how it went from a stupid gadget to a global must-have. Before the selfie stick, early human desire for self-portraits. Long before smartphones or cameras, humans had an obsession with self-representation. From ancient cave paintings to polished bronze mirrors in ancient Greece, people wanted to capture their image. By the 19th century, photography emerged, but early cameras were bulky, slow, and required someone else to operate. Self-portraits were rare, unless mirrors were used or mechanical timers helped capture the shot. But by the early 20th century, photography became more accessible. Amateur photographers began to experiment. In 1925, a famous photograph from England shows a couple holding their box camera on a long stick, one of the earliest recorded selfie stick attempts. They weren't trying to invent a product. They were improvising, solving a problem. How do we take a picture of ourselves without asking someone else? At this stage, the idea of a tool to extend your reach was born, but it remained informal, unrecognized, and unnamed. The forgotten Japanese patent of the 1980s. The true invention of the modern selfie stick can be traced back to Japan. In 1983, inventors Hiroshi Ueda and Yujiro Mima, working for camera company Minolta, patented a telescopic extender for a compact camera. Here's how it worked. A camera mounted on a metal rod. The rod could extend outward, allowing wider shots. A small mirror near the lens let users check if they were in frame. This was brilliant. In essence, it was the first official selfie stick. But there was one huge problem. The culture wasn't ready. In the 1980s, selfies weren't fashionable. Cameras used film, which limited shots. People didn't waste expensive film on casual self-portraits. Most photos were of families, events, or scenic views. The idea of taking a picture of yourself for fun seemed silly, even vain. As a result, Minolta's extender was considered a gimmick. It was mocked, sold poorly, and eventually discontinued. Later, in 1995, a Japanese book even listed the device as one of the useless inventions of Japan. Ironically, that useless invention would later become one of the most sold gadgets of the 21st century. The rise of digital cameras and early selfies. Jump forward to the late 1990s and early 2000s. Digital cameras replaced film cameras. Suddenly, people could take hundreds of photos without worrying about film costs. This changed everything. The selfie began to rise. Teenagers, travelers, and groups of friends started holding cameras at arm's length to capture themselves. But the same old problem remained. Your arm was only so long. In group shots, someone always got cut off. In Asia, inventors began experimenting again. By the early 2000s, versions of the selfie stick were being sold in Japan, China, and South Korea. They weren't globally popular yet, but they existed, often called camera extenders or self-photo sticks. For a short time, these products floated in the background of the camera accessory market, but soon a massive shift would catapult them into mainstream culture. The smartphone revolution. The launch of the iPhone in 2007 was a turning point in global technology. Suddenly, everyone had a high-quality digital camera in their pocket. And when front-facing cameras became common around 2010, the selfie exploded in popularity. Social media platforms like Instagram, Snapchat, and later TikTok made selfies a global obsession. People weren't just taking pictures of landscapes anymore, they were documenting their faces, their outfits, their moments. But the problem persisted. Your arm wasn't long enough. Travelers wanted their entire background in the shot. Groups wanted everyone included. Content creators wanted stability. The solution was obvious. Bring back the selfie stick. By 2013 to 2014, inexpensive selfie sticks began appearing on Amazon, in tourist shops, and at electronics stores worldwide. They were collapsible, lightweight, and compatible with nearly every smartphone. Some had wired buttons, while others used Bluetooth remote controls. This time, the timing was perfect. The backlash and bans. As the selfie stick spread globally, it wasn't without controversy. By 2014 to 2015, critics began calling it the narcissist's wand. Late-night comedians mocked tourists waving poles in crowded places. Memes ridiculed people's obsession with selfies. And then came the bans. Disney parks worried about safety on rides, ban done in 2015. Museums like the Louvre in Paris and the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. prohibited them to protect art. Concerts and festivals outlawed them, calling them a hazard in crowds. Despite the backlash, the bans didn't stop the selfie stick. They only fueled its popularity. For every critic calling it vain, millions of travelers and creators found it useful. Global domination and evolution. By the mid-2010s, the selfie stick was everywhere. From the Great Wall of China to the beaches of Thailand, from Times Square to Tokyo Disneyland, tourists proudly carried their extendable sticks. Different versions appeared. Bluetooth sticks with built-in shutter buttons, stabilizing monopods for action cameras like GoPro, tripod hybrids for vloggers and YouTubers, even mini versions for discreet urban use. The selfie stick wasn't just a fad, it was evolving into a permanent part of photography culture. In fact, many argue that the selfie stick paved the way for modern vlogging equipment. Today's tripods, gimbals, and even drones owe a debt to the same idea, extending and stabilizing the camera for better shots. Legacy of the selfie stick. So what's the legacy of the selfie stick? Cultural shift? It normalized self-photography and made selfies mainstream. Tourist essential. It became one of the most common travel accessories of the 2010s. Stepping stone. It laid the foundation for vlogging tools and influencer culture. Symbol of the era. Whether mocked or loved, it represented the social media age. Today, the craze has cooled. Not everyone uses selfie sticks anymore, and many younger users have shifted to ring lights, tripods, and drones. But their impact remains undeniable. From a failed Japanese patent in the 1980s to a global cultural symbol, the selfie stick tells us something profound. Technology doesn't succeed until culture is ready. The next time you see someone raising a selfie stick, don't laugh it off. Remember that behind that simple gadget lies a story of creativity, rejection, rediscovery, and mass adoption. The selfie stick is more than just a pole with a phone at the end. It's a symbol of human desire, the desire to capture ourselves, to share our stories, to freeze our place in the world. And in that sense, the selfie stick isn't just history, it's a mirror of who we are.